Yo, what up? It's Benjamin D'Souza here, and I just want to speak on something that just came to me about certain dynamics between male and female, and it is the excitement of sex. Not necessarily the excitement of sex, but I would say unforgettable sex, right? And what I mean by that is there are certain sexual experiences that a person may have in their life that sticks out more than others. And it wasn't necessarily the actual act of sex, but it was certain, conditions surrounding the act of sex. And deeper than that, it was also the motives of the people engaged in the sexual act. Now, I've heard Jason Black quote a particular scholar. I forgot who he quoted, but he said, everything is about sex except sex. And that quote comes to mind when when this thought came to me. Because what I've learned is that a lot of men are fooled by their, their sexual exploits. They're fooled. A woman's number one tool in her toolbox that she uses against men to ascertain what she wants from said man is to stroke said man's ego, right? What's the quickest, most effective way to stroke said man's ego? Through a sexual act. But what if said man has a lot of sexual acts with various women? Well, you gotta up the ante and do something that he'll remember. I.e. having sex in strange places, public places. You get what I'm saying? So, you gotta think, a lot of men want to fancy themselves as hunters of women, but women are hunters as well. And if they scout you as suitable prey, they will use these tactics. Now, what I've always said is that the number one thing that black women in particular want from a man, or from the men that they deal with, is control. It's not necessarily resources. It's not necessarily in being jawline. I've already covered that. Because having resources and being jawline is null and void if you can't control the man and his resources and his jawline-ness, if you will. But they like one of their tactics that they use to cast this illusion, put this veil over a man's eyes to stroke his ego through the act of sex, to later ascertain what they want from him, and then later re-engineer said man into something that they can control. I'm getting ahead of myself, let me go back. They will have sex with a man under, I don't want to say strange circumstances, but let's just say, I don't want to say peculiar either. Out of the ordinary. They'll have sex with a man out of the ordinary circumstances. Like, for instance, just, using me as an example. I've had sex in public places since I was in high school. I'm talking about having sex in a high school bathroom during school. You know what I'm saying? This chick I was dating back in high school, we had a public pool in the the area of town that we lived in, and we were out at night, coming back from the movies or whatever on a Saturday or whatever, and we rolled by this public pool area, and they had an indoor pool and an outdoor pool, but they had a fence around the outdoor pool, and me and her jumped. We jumped the fence and had sex at like 10, 11 o'clock at night in the outdoor pool. A public pool, just broke into that motherfucker. And shit like that you never forget, man. I'm talking about, I done smashed chicks at the job on lunch break, in the car type of shit. Other chick from my job, from another job that I had, putting my G Mizzy down with her, my alleged game, if you will. Gave her a ride home, pulled in behind the back of a Kohl's department store at like 10 o'clock at night. And this back when I had like a two-seater Honda Civic with the sunroof. I put one of her legs over one seat, the other leg over the driver's seat, leaned both of the seats back, bent her over, put the sunroof back, had my head out of the sunroof, hitting this in the back of a Kohl's. Like, shit like that, under those type of circumstances, like one night stands and hitting a chick in the club bathroom, or, meeting a chick at Walmart and then she topping you up in the restroom, is back there by the electronic section and shit, like shit like that. You'll never forget that shit. And that's an ego stroke. Your ego is stroked. She already figured, she already had it made up in her mind that she was gonna use, an out of the ordinary sexual act on you to stroke your ego, to get you to lower your defenses so that she can move in the troops. You feel what I'm saying? So you think, oh man, my mouthpiece is on point, my jawline is on fleek, you feel me? My shit is just butter laid and I'm irresistible and shit. No, nigga, that was all by design, her design. You know what I mean? So just be aware, fellas. Just be aware. When you out here, dipping and diving and whatnot, you need to fully understand what it is that she wants and what her motives is behind all of her actions, especially sexual acts and sexual actions. But yeah, just, wanted to make this quick vid. I ain't dropped a vid in a minute. You feel me? It's another one I want to do, but I'm going to have to do a little bit of research and pull up some more references for that. But yeah.